Okay, everybody let me know if my audio is coming through good or not. Um, okay, well, multi-stream. Let's get it started. Who do we have watching? How am I starting off with 3 people already? Whew. Whoo, what's good, Spar? We only got 3 viewers here, but it's good. We were talking about how much we talking in terms of investing. I'm not moving a whole lot of capital or nothing like that, but we got a little something something going on, so that's good. Um, but yeah, I guess I won't wait any longer to get started. I don't want anyone who's already here to just feel like just sitting here for no reason. So, in terms of investing, some of the things I started looking at: one, where you invest your money, what investment vehicles you already have, and how do you contribute money to those investment vehicles, right? So, I can't tell you guys what to do, but I can tell you what I would do in your situation, just based off of personal experience. So, what the heck's wrong with my internet? I guess it's because I'm like using TeamViewer at the same time. Anyway, you guys let me know if anything happens. Anyway, so we have Roth IRAs, we have 401ks, we have personal investment accounts as well. And yeah, those are pretty much what I use personally. I'm not gonna, like I said, say what you should use or not. But what I would say though, what I would say, there are benefits to each account. There are different ways you can invest in each account. Personally, I use Fidelity when it comes to Roth IRAs and 401ks. Those are the retirement accounts for Roth IRA. Sorry, for a Roth IRA, it's a individual retirement account. So that's your own personal account where you can start putting money into there, and you have a $6,000 limit every year. The limit usually changes every year. They usually bump it up, and with the 401k, um, with the 401k, what was I trying to get at? A 401k usually you have it's a retirement account you set up through your employer. So when you set up the retirement account through your employer, usually they offer something called matching. So matching is when they actually offer you like 4%. For example, if I put in 4% of my total income every paycheck, they'll match another 4% in there as well. And so there are professionals you can speak with actually at Fidelity. They're super helpful, and a lot of the time they have a lot of those details and they have a lot of that information already. So you can definitely go learn a lot from them. I personally learn a lot from books and from reading on Investopedia. Investopedia is really good. That's where I started off when I was in college. And Personal Finance for Dummies and Investing for Dummies is also a really good book. What else? There's all types of things that you can do. I mean, there's plenty of ways for you to make money, essentially. But yeah, I don't have a particular topic for today. But if anybody wants to talk about something, let me know. Um, Give me 1 second. So yes, what was I trying to get at? Roth IRAs, 401ks, investment vehicles. You can do through Fidelity. you could do through. Do you think investing in coins is a good idea? I'm gonna say yes, and the reason why is because I do think that cryptocurrency is the future to some degree. I think that a lot of businesses are starting to realize that the internet and a lot of the trends that have been set through the internet are the future. A lot of people don't realize that yet. And they're like, okay, well, how do we, gauge this? How do we manage around this or whatever? Cryptocurrencies, you got to see what they're based upon, though, right? Bitcoin, the reason why it's so big is not so much because, oh, it's Bitcoin or what. It's because it was the first. Now, it might not have been the literal first, but it's the first to blow up and come up to the status that it's at right now. The cryptocurrencies you're going to want to start looking at are the ones that haven't been tapped into yet. The markets that haven't been tapped into yet. So, I'm not going to mention what I'm looking at, but there are some cryptocurrencies that are based in things, for example, like Ethereum, which is starting to blow up, which is pretty popular. Dogecoin is less about being based in something and more about being like the influencer's coin. So Elon Musk kind of like took the reins with something like that, right? He was a very big influencer because he was trending. He was very popular. A lot of spotlight was on him at the time. And so that he had a lot of pull. He had a lot of, weight to move around. And he decided to pick something very simple. Why? Because everybody can understand it. You pick something simple, everyone can understand it. You don't got to be a super genius to make money off of it. You manipulate the market. Boom. That's it. That's all it is. Thanks for the like, Billy. Appreciate that. So, yes. Look into coins, but I highly recommend you do your own research. I mean, I can go on days, I can go on forever basically about it. But it's kind of like, is there a way to tell if a coin will blow up? So we have something called speculative analysis and fundamental analysis, right? Fundamental analysis doesn't really apply as much to coins just yet because people are just figuring out what to do with coins and what they're all about. It's almost like investing in just currency. Which currency is going to beat the other currency? And actual money kind of has a play in that too, right? Our US money, what is it based on? Gold? Well, how much gold do we have left? I don't know. Somebody Google that. Somebody, not just Google. Check DuckDuckGo. Check Safari. Check Bing. Whatever search engine you want to use. Somebody check that because I don't know. I have no idea. So, how to tell if a coin's gonna blow up? See if that coin is based on something that's popular. Not popular, but more like something that seems futuristic, I would say. If that makes any sense. I'm like dropping hints and clues. I just want to tell you exactly what to do because I don't want that to become a thing in the future where it's like, oh, I lost all my money because I listened to this absolute dust guy on the internet and he told me, well, don't get your news from the internet. But I do like viewers and I do want to spread information that I think is positive. So I don't want it to be anybody's waste of time or anything like that. But I definitely do recommend looking at anything that's actually based on something. So Bitcoin is more like just because it was the first. Dogecoin is more like because I'm a big guy with big money and I can move it or whatever. And whenever he makes news about it or whatever, he could do stuff like that. And I'm not sure if you guys heard about this app, but it's called Public.com. Public.com. I heard about that from Graham Stephan. He's a YouTuber. It's pretty big. Public.com actually shows you a lot of how do I say this? You can watch other people's investments. You can see investments that other people have. And what's really cool about that is that what was I gonna say? You could determine based off of what you see in somebody else's investments whether or not it'll be like, good. You can gauge it based off of the crowd. If following trends is something that you like to do. What you'll find most of the time though is that if everyone follows a trend, then the stock market is easily manipulated. And that's how you get crashes. So I urge you to be careful. Not telling you what to do, but being careful is important. you don't want to put all your money and all your eggs in one basket. So diversify. An excellent way to do that is index funds and mutual funds. I personally put my money in index funds and mutual funds. Um, because they're pretty constant. They're stable. I mean, they average 7% over the course of the stock market, since the history of the stock market. So why not? Um, there will be times where volatility happens, and I think we might see a volatile dip somewhere soon. Uh, I don't know. Never try to time the market. But what I would tell you though is that this is the time to be super aggressive. And I'm not telling you to be super aggressive, but I'm going to be super aggressive. And the reason why I'm saying that is because I think it was Warren Buffett who said something along the lines of, when everybody's scared and blah, 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 that's when you strike. When everybody's doing stuff, that's when you stay back and you save all your money. So you got to kind of balance it out. Am I spreading misinformation? Am I spreading this? Well, that's why you got to do your own research. I'm not qualified. I mean, I've only been doing this for a little while, but I mean, in a couple of years, if it works out and, what I apply to my life actually works, then there'll be actual substance behind it. You know what I'm saying? It'll actually mean something. But as of right now, can I tell you for sure I know what's going to happen? No. Everything is so uncertain. Whenever things get more uncertain, what I personally do, and it'll drive you crazy, so be careful. Be careful, it'll drive you crazy. Um, Try to dip your hand in every basket. You know? Just kind of like have a feel for what you want to put your money in, and that's what I'm personally doing, right? Is I'm finding ways to mitigate risk in every market that I'm trying to put my hand into. And you never know. I mean, you could try your best to mitigate risk and then something happens. Oh yeah, for sure, dog. Hell yeah. As long as you shout me out too. Shit, don't forget about me. I'm only here with 3 viewers. I can't shout you out to 3 viewers. You feel me? So if you can share my content, you know, you share my content, I'll share your coin, no doubt. And that's what we need. We need influencers, right? That's kind of like an angel investor. In a sense, you'd be an angel investor. You'd be the person who's creating the coin. You hash out a deal with me. Boom. Oh, it's a scam? Oh, it's a scam. Oh, well, that's possible too. I don't know anything about coins though. How do coins work even? Oh, maybe coins are a scam. Oh, imagine coins are just like the biggest scam ever, and they're just like gonna hack everybody and just take everyone's money. Is that why people are saying to buy gold? You can buy something physical and say, okay, this is gonna retain value or whatever. Let me buy into this. That'd be kind of wild. Save the kids? I think I maybe heard something about that, but what's that all about? I'm interested. Yo, is my stream getting interrupted or something? Why is this thing like this? Bitrate. Let me see if Billy can see my stream. Uh, Give me 1 second. I mean, if you can just give me a basic synopsis, I don't need like, super, super in detail, but just like, uh, uh, just a cover. Okay, sorry about that. Yes, so what was I saying? I did hear about Save the Kids. I forgot where I heard about it from. But dog. What was I gonna say? What was I gonna say? I forgot. Anyway. Oh, we got another viewer in here. Let's go, Liddy. But yeah, in terms of coins, it's really hard to say, you know? It's really hard to say what is what in relation to that. I have no idea. So I would recommend, like I said, do your own research and use varied sources. Use books, use articles, use different web browsers even. Oh, okay. So this is what's happening. This is what's happening. A lot of people these days are very stressed out. Everybody is super like all over the place right now, right? In everything that they're doing, in their work, and their whatever it is. Everyone is stressed, right? So what is it that people I can admit I'm stressed too. I'm stressed all the way the fuck out. Do I need to be stressed out? Probably not. I'm probably creating a lot more problems for myself than I need to. But at the very least, if I create a problem for myself, at least make it profitable. That's the way I'm thinking about it. But um a lot of people are like, "Oh my god, you know, the world's full of pedos and we have to save the kids and there's this and there's." They're creating I don't know who they is, you know, per se, but somebody's creating problems for everyone. So that way people can go ahead and go fix them. Why? Well, because everyone got comfortable. Well, why did everybody get comfortable? Well, because we're pretty satisfied as a society. We don't need much. Okay, so well, how do you get people to start buying shit again? I mean, it's capitalism, right? Well, you lock off. Well, and it's not for bad reason either. It's for good reason. One, we found out, okay, how do we produce our own renewable resource? Here, natural gas. Well, where's the natural gas? Okay, well, it's in these states. Well, how do we get people to move to those states? Well, we incentivize it. Well, how do we incentivize it? We incentivize businesses to build there. Well, how do we incentivize businesses to build there? Tax pay cuts, all that other stuff, right? It's all capitalism. It's just how the economy works. And when the economy starts failing, right, late stage capitalism or whatever, and other countries see that and they're like, oh, they're weak. Let's pry our fingers and our hands in there. Could it be conspiracy theory? Probably, most likely. Most of it's probably conspiracy theory. But it's like, why care? You know what I'm saying? If you specialize in something, right? If you've been so far separated into whatever your echo chamber is, that you're so like repressed into one corner, you don't have friends, you don't have a society, you don't have a community to kind of keep you stable, right? Well, go ahead and find yourself a community and keep. They kind of copied another org's name and logo that actually help kids. I'm not surprised. Scammers are winning. Why? Because we've become weak. We've become too easily manipulated. Now we're just giving our money to everyone and everywhere, right? So what am I? What should we be doing to negate this or to fix this? Well, there's a lot of things that you can be doing. Well, for one, update your passwords. I mean, that's what I need to do. But in relation to your problem here with the, well, I'm not saying it happened to you, but the relation with the phase thing, um, coins aren't necessarily always a scam. But it doesn't mean that they're always. Do your research, basically, is the point. Look into it and make sure that you're not like putting it into something that's just fluff. You know what I'm saying? Usually, a coin that has some like consistency to it is probably fine. I mean, the more people that kind of gravitate to it, the more fine it probably is until people figure out how to hack out into a blockchain. I don't know how you do that. They kind of copied it, huh? They went the way they went about it was crazy because there was a bunch of people involved. Yeah, it's just organized crime. It's organized crime is what it is. It's organized crime. You just kind of gotta find your own group and say, how do I, just in case I lose all my money and I lose all of this and I lose all of that, what can I do to ensure that me and my people are safe? Well, that's where the self-sustainability comes into play, right? And the government's not going to just let you fail, right? They kind of put bumpers around you. They put these soft cushions to kind of keep you somewhat stable, right? That's what all these companies are kind of doing, right? They're taking responsibility for those things. They see those trends too. I mean, they got people, they got teams that work on stuff like that. Um, I'll just stick to scamming the elderly. Well, you receive in life what you put out. So if you go and you scam the elderly, guess what's gonna happen? You might end up getting scammed. I'm not saying it will happen, but shit, government might find out. Somebody might find out. They might pull up on you and be like, "Oh shit, well, it's time to throw this guy in jail because he's been scamming people." Like, I'll give you an example. This guy, Pooh Shiesty, he's a rapper, right? And in his lyrics in a recent song, he was saying, "Don't use iPhone," right? Don't use iPhone because they're going federal, right? Well, why would you want to break the law anyway, right? Okay, well, let's understand the situation here, actually, for a second. Okay, well, disproportionately affected black people happen to have to resort to crime a lot of the time to be able to do things. How do we solve that? Well, what they're doing now is they're teaching web development and application development in NYCHA neighborhoods. Okay, so now this kind of gives them a sort of ladder to go up through the socioeconomic food chain or whatever you want to call it, right? So there's opportunity there, right? It's about how hard you want to work. And it's kind of always been like that. It's just now that they're rebalancing things that they're realizing were issues. And they're like, okay, well, we can benefit from these things, right? We can benefit from cheaper labor that we offer to people that we're going to train and invest in. And what we'll get out of that is cheaper labor, and we can push some of the current labor up, offer pension packages or what do you call this, like retirement packages to existing employees, let them live their lives and retire, and then the new wave of people just work and kind of create the economy there. And then whoever is at whatever considered wherever the bottom of the food chain is, basically in terms of the socioeconomic status, that'll be like the new floor. And we have to figure out, how do we help the new floor, right? So all these different oppressed groups happen to be the floor at the time, and now they're the ones who are bubbling up through what you would call the socioeconomic food chain. So that's kind of what's happening, I think. I could be wrong, right? Maybe it makes sense, maybe it doesn't. But either way, people like good people because they bring good to their lives. People don't like bad people because they bring bad to their lives. Soldier Console may definitely be a scam. I mean, Kanye West's Donda album might have been a scam. That's the thing though. Everybody, okay, everything is trends and waves and this and that. But what you'll find is that either it's incredibly hard to ride the wave or the trend and be able to detect the next new thing without being like, you know, an asshole and getting fucked over or fucking other people over. So what you need to do in life is you need to be consistent. You need a constant in your life. You need to find something, a sort of arrow, a sort of beacon, right? You need to find something. You need to find your rock and say, how can I stay consistent? And so we're talking about Soldier Console being a scam. Everybody's scamming these days. Everybody's scamming. How do you avoid getting scammed? Well, don't scam others. You're less likely to find scammers if you don't scam people. The more you scam people, the more people will realize you're a scammer, the more you'll become known as a scammer. And somebody might want to retaliate against you by scamming you. And we don't like that. We don't want to spiral downwards in life. We want to spiral upwards in life, right? We want progress. So like I said, you put good out into the world, you usually receive good to some extent. Now, being honest is important, and understanding when people are honest is also important. But knowing the absolute truth of everything is not also great either. So yeah, it'll help you figure out business opportunities and where you can make money, but also it kind of opens you up to find out about more scams around you too, right? So like you got to find a healthy medium. And right now, I think a lot of people need a healthy medium. You need a sort of balance because you're going to find that okay, if I don't want to be like this guy, then I got to do this. If I don't want to be like that guy, then I got to do this. If I don't want to be like that guy, you get influenced by every person that you walk into. And because everyone has sort of gotten comfortable with separating themselves into their echo chambers, they've gotten very comfortable with following other people's roads or guides to a quote unquote success. How do you define your own success? Well, it's kind of hard to do that. You need a beacon, a rock, an arrow, something that's consistent in your life. For me personally, that was Christianity, that's church. You don't have to pick religion, you can pick anything. Anything that provides you community. Your friends, for example. You can have a friend group that is quite... I know this is not technically finance related, but the reason why it's important is because if you want to make money in finance, you have to talk to people who know about finance and become friends with them. Why do you need to become friends with somebody who knows finance? Because if you want them to spread good information to you, you need to spread good information to them or provide them some kind of benefit. That's just the way our society works. That's capitalism. You give me something, I give you something. It's bartering, it's trading, it's as prehistoric as anything. That is about one of the oldest things ever, right? Trading. We trade cultures, we trade tools, we trade goods, we trade all types of things. And we're kind of heading back into that, and it's going to kind of be the start of our new economy again, right? But before you can do that, you need to understand what's available in your current network already. If you want to be successful, then you got to hang with successful people. Yes, but here's the thing. If you hang with successful people and you don't understand why it feels bad, you're just constantly like, oh my God, I hate this. This feels terrible. I don't like this. Well, it's probably because it's fighting something that you've trained yourself to know all your life. It goes against who you are. Well, a lot of people don't like to change. And you got to determine what you want to change about yourself and what you don't want to change about yourself. That's where the whole kind of reinventing yourself comes from, right? And you don't have to reinvent yourself. If you're already happy with what you have, then it's fine. But now you have to look internally and say, what is wrong with me? What is the one thing that I want to change about myself to continue to make money? If making money is what your goal is, which it shouldn't be your only goal. My goal is to have a rich life. A rich life includes rich experiences, rich family, rich whatever. Everybody has values, everybody has goals, everybody's doing whatever. Best way to achieve that, you're just gonna have to work for it. If you want the best things in life, you have to work for it. That's just as simple as it is. But like I said, why is it hard to stick around successful people? How do you even find successful people? Well, you need to put good into their life. Why? Because the more you bubble them up, the more they can bubble you up. It's just a team effort. You just got to pick which team you want to be on, basically. But it doesn't mean that you just completely swallow yourself into an echo chamber. Because the more you argue with that group of people, the more they hold you back. You understand? So you need to kind of broaden your horizons, reinvent yourself, reimagine how you think about things. Step outside of your echo chamber. Step outside of your comfort zone. If you're the kind of person who's always used to telling themselves, I'm right, you're wrong, well, you need to reevaluate that. Find somebody who's slightly different than you. They don't have to be significantly different from you, but just slightly different from you. And say, I sweet talked a bunch of successful people when I was a bartender. Well, you know what to do then. What you can do is you can host bartending parties at your house. Boom, that's a business idea. Not only do you have skills in being a bartender, one. Two, if it gets cold again, you can have a basement bar. If you have a basement bar, you can go ahead and make drinks. You go ahead and make drinks for people. And the better your service is, the more high-class clients you can invite to your basement bar. Boom! It's like a speakeasy, dog. It's like a speakeasy, right? Instead of everybody trying to hide alcohol from the law and doing all the illegal stuff, everybody's trying to continue to be outside, not get vaccinated, not get COVID, but still want to party or whatever. And even if they do get COVID, they're like, I don't care, right? That's kind of like what all the big mob bosses did back then, and the mafia did. They just kind of sold illegal alcohol. Boom, easy clap. Yes. But specifically for your idea, yeah, if you're a bartender, boom, if you have alcohol and you have a wide selection, you know how to make drinks, you likely already have the stuff in your house. Basement, you get a basement bar, you set that up. See how much it costs to set that up? If you know somebody in your immediate circle who knows how to build things, who has construction ability or whatever, or knows how to put things together, plain and simple, right? You don't have to do everything by yourself too. That's another thing. Is that something that I learned about myself is that I'm constantly always trying to do things by myself, and I realized that's why I'm alone. One thing that I just want is friends. So I don't need them to do anything for me. But nobody likes feeling not needed. You know what I'm saying? No one likes to feel like they're not needed around you. I also don't want people to feel like they're dependent on me either. Or that I'm dependent on them. Because that's something else. But you live and you learn, I suppose. But yeah. Overhaul from MHA, make a problem and sell the solution. Oh, My Hero Academia overhaul. Which one? Oh, yes. Okay. Is that a way to go? Yes, but you saw who won at the end of that fight, right? Midoriya won. So, you really want to be on the losing side? You know what I'm saying? Like, the best way to kind of absolve yourself of anything is just be honest. And at some point, when you feel cornered and you're like, oh my gosh, all this stuff is crashing on me, you just stop for a second and you say, I don't have to do this. And as long as you're not going to literally die if you back out of whatever you're doing, you can say, I had fun, I learned a lot, I made some money, I did that, I have a life experience to talk about now. What's better than that? Making memories. That's what that's all about. And then you can kind of reinvent your life from there and say, okay, well, now that I've experienced that, this is what I didn't like about my life. So here's some of the things that I want to change. Okay, so I'm going to change that, and that. And this is what I want to move on to moving forward, but I want to be careful of this, and this. Because I saw, historically, some people fell into some of those pitfalls. But you see, your mind is constantly thinking of the negative. Think about the positive, my guy. You want to bring positivity into your life because you want positive people in your life. So how are you going to do that? You're going to talk positive. You're thinking about the villains and what the villains did. Now, another thing we have to realize is that an important lesson that I learned from My Hero Academia recently, from the recent episode that I watched, is that the villains aren't always villains. They're literally just people that got effed over by society. Like Toga, for example. Is she kind of dark, twisted, and evil? Yeah, but it was kind of based off of the way that she was raised. Her parents literally just said, don't be so creepy, don't smile like that, da 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 da. Okay, if she did something wrong, okay, you correct it. Yes, you correct those things, because then you're going to make super villains. But you don't take it too far. It's a healthy, everything is a healthy balance. You know what I'm saying? Healthy, balanced breakfast. Healthy, balanced diet. Healthy, balanced lifestyle. Everybody's trying to figure out what this new lifestyle is, this new way of living. Dog, just look through history. Look for the happiest people through history and just be like, how do I get like that? But also remember what they had to sacrifice to get like that. Okay? How so? How did they ruin My Villain Academia? By making them good guys? Or by bringing in the, what do you call this? By bringing in the, what the hell do you call these people? By bringing in the Liberation Army. Sorry, I was supposed to talk about finance, investing, business, and innovation. But yes, you can create an underground bar in your house and invite people. Invite friends if you have friends that you can invite there. I didn't do season 5 justice. Yeah, it's very possible. Oh, for sure. Fucking love the Pepe memes, dog. But yes, finance. Uh, 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 what was I gonna say? What was I gonna say in regards to finance? Yeah, investing. I'm personally looking at index funds. I'm looking at things that are in growing industries and markets, which are specifically in relation to um, natural resources, real estate, because the real estate market is currently getting locked out by big banks. You want to be careful for that. You don't want to completely have to like pay big banks for it. What companies to invest in? So see, I can't recommend you a company to invest in because I think that's technically like some kind of legality or some kind of clause of some sort where like if I give you like bad investing advice and like you turn around and say, well, I listened to this guy's investing advice and you know, he's a financial advisor or whatever, and boom, I lost a bunch of money. Well, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just doing this for entertainment purposes. But you never know. So you don't want to end up like that. Anyway, um, like I said, I don't personally like to invest in individual companies. I personally like to look at index funds and mutual funds. I haven't looked at any mutual funds. I've been personally looking at index funds. So there might be some good value in those. Um, and yeah, anything related to the new world that we're building for ourselves, and that's the key right there. That's the way. Honestly, like the further ahead you think, okay, you don't know what site to go into to invest. Well, you have a couple of options. You can invest through Fidelity. You set up an account through them. You can invest through public.com. You can set up an account through them. You can use Robinhood, although a lot of people don't like Robinhood because of some of the things they were doing. So they feel like it's a little shady. You can invest in so there's a lot of companies you can invest in, honestly. Plenty of companies you can invest in to sort of yeah. I think look for yeah, and then there's also what's this one called? Webull. Now I don't know if Webull is still like the way to go or not. Hmm. Anything US based that isn't owned by like a friggin' big corporation is probably good. That's what I'm looking at. Anything that's US based that's not a big corporation. Robinhood is what or what I used before. Fidelity is what I continue to use specifically for retirement accounts. And public.com is what I'm currently using for my individual stock investments, including portfolios too. Those are just my ideas. And honestly, invest in for me, what I'm going to do, what I'm looking at right now is investing in America. I think we closed off our borders for a reason. I think a lot of the things that have happened for a reason. It's a big show. It's a big charade. And the more people who catch on to that, the more success you find in that. Whatever makes you super, 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 super American. And you find out what to invest in relation to that. Amen. Amen. I'm telling you, do me a favor. Share this content. Share it to your friends. Don't be selfish. I need people to share the content because if I don't share it, then I can't blow up. But yeah, I think that we were given a lot of signs. We were given a lot of signs. If you can put the puzzle pieces together, you can say, boom, you want to be on the winning team. Who's been the winning team this whole time? Well, if you live in America, has America oppressed and pushed you to your very edges and limits? Yes. But we're sort of rebalancing now. And I think we realized what some of our problems were, and we're working to fix them. So tap into all the markets you can, brother. Tap into all the markets you can. See what they offer you. See what you can offer them. And then make a compromise. And if you don't want to be a part of the working class, well, then you need to secure your resources so that way you can say, okay, I got my own thing going on. And that's a smart way to go. Yeah, you invest, you reach your goal, and then you sell. A lot of people, so there's actually a term for this. I believe it's called the king's disease. And the king's disease is when people don't know when to stop. They come up with the next new problem, the next new challenge that they want to solve, and then they start going into a direction where it's like, yo, this wasn't even a problem. Why are you creating a solution for it? And sometimes you just gotta stop and say, yo, the world is already so good. Why are we creating new problems and finding solutions for them? Well, there's profit to be made. That is how the world keeps spinning, right? You find out, hey, I lived a terrible life. I lived this kind of life. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm tired of working. Well, if you want to retire early, that's just how the world works. You want to retire early? Well, you need to be put in a position where you can actually provide opportunity to others. And when you can do that, you basically retire off the backs of those people. Essentially, that's kind of what happens. I don't want to sound fucked up, but that's kind of what slavery was. Slavery was them retiring off the backs of their slaves. That's what it was. Europe, I guess you can say, maybe, I could be wrong. Whoever was the people during that time for Europe, that was them retiring off the backs of the American colonists that went and said, you know what? We like it over here. We can make our own rules. We don't like paying all those taxes to you guys. And that's how America started. Maybe we're about to have a birth of a new country. Who knows? Who knows? We might have the birth of a new country. A new state, maybe? Get that unclaimed land. You become a mayor. You become a whatever. Instead of 50 states. I mean, I think that's what Kanye's doing. I don't think he bought into Wyoming for no reason. Anyway, you know, I got my own plans about what I want to do here in Michigan, and I'm looking at those opportunity areas, and I'm like, oh yeah, we're gonna need people for this. We're gonna need a community. We're gonna need a following, influencers. Being an influencer is gonna be important. Absolute Coin. Our target will be the Gen Z. Let's go, Absolute Coin. Power to the people. That'd be dope as fuck. I'm interested in learning some blockchain technology too. I don't know anything about blockchain, to be honest. But like I said, I don't want to get so far into things that I'm like, you know, I just want to enjoy the stuff that I like doing. Like I want to get better at playing piano, but I need more time for that. Software engineering is fun and cool and all, and I enjoy doing it, but definitely not something I want to do forever. Like I legit would like to just be able to like live life, like just vacation every now and then. Vacation once a year. It doesn't have to be all the time. Be able to buy a car every now and then. I don't need a fancy car every time. Just a fancy car I can keep for a while, you know. And then every now and then, whenever I want something else, I just work again. And that's what a lot of old people do. Because what is life without work, right? Yeah, I want to be able to relax for a long time, kind of just like ease my way into my comfortable little cubby I've made for myself. Exactly. Work at a place that doesn't feel like a job. But see, that's the scary part, is that a lot of jobs are trying to make they're trying to make their own like places. I don't know how to say that. Like they're trying to make their own countries, basically. Their own little countries within the US. And they're trying to make it where it's like, hey, you like this? You like that? Well, we can make this the perfect world for you. And that's kind of what they're doing. That's what these self-sustainable workplaces are. You see the word self-sustainability everywhere. Well, is it truly self-sustainable if I have to work under you? And that's why you need a rock. You need something that's going to stay constant in your life. Because when as a company or as a group or as a whatever, you try to cater to everybody, you can't cater to anybody. You get what I'm saying? You have to kind of move and shift in directions. And like, at first you're gonna, you're gonna grab a big crowd, but eventually they're gonna realize and be like, I don't know this company or whatever. They have changed a lot. They haven't been consistent in my life. My cost of living went up. This went up. This went up. Amen. Amen. You go to Italy, but listen. With any business, it is risk. It is risk versus reward. And not every business is gonna go good. Not every house will be good. Not every environment that you go into will be good. Not everything will be a success story. It's about how you mitigate risk. But you also got to determine how many markets you want to be tapped into. You don't have to be tapped into every single market. But the more multivariate you are, the stronger your ability is to sort of stronger your ability to what am I trying to get at? The more multivaried you are, the stronger your ability to find opportunity and build in that direction. That's a fact. There will be downs. There will be downs. You just gotta determine what is your point, right? What is a point? What is a tipping point for you? When do you sacrifice morality? For me, that's why I make my rock religion, right? If our government and our society is based off of religion, specifically if it's based off of Christianity or whatever it's based off of, any religious text you decide to follow, then if that's the rock, if the Constitution just follows that or whatever declaration, whatever it is, whatever our government is based off of religion, well then that's what you follow. If you want success in your life, you want a rich and happy life, you want to live the lifestyle that Americans have been. Well, no matter what happens around you and what changes, you'll always have some of those opportunities available to you. Now, you might have started at a different place than some other people. So people who jump on the religion, they might have, they might already be like, advanced or whatever. And I'm not trying to sell anybody on Christianity or anything like that. I mean, you can do whatever you want. But if you are interested, I should put my church's online link in the bio, actually. That's a good idea. In case people are interested. I'm now becoming an evangelist. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't mean to. But definitely do be aware of it. Look for whatever religion kind of best matches your current situation. I think whatever religion is the most, like, accepting and open to people is probably the best one for you. Or whatever you feel like is the most, like, inclusive to whoever you are. Um, a lot of religions have been very exclusive, and that has been their fault. So that's what has pushed people away. But it's kind of like, okay, Pastor Absolute, yes sir, we're gonna be Pastor Absolute on the Twitch channel, and it's all ideas. These are all business and innovation ideas. I mean, somebody can take this and run with it. I'm giving that out for free. I'm giving out this information for free. You don't even gotta think about it anymore. You can just do it. How do you find the skill set? How do you find the background knowledge needed? Well, you need a strong point of references. Who has the strongest point of references? The people who've read the most. The people who have, I might not be able to quite literally give you your absolute answer and your absolute, direction in life, but I can definitely point you to a reference that will definitely guide you, and give you more information. Okay, well, you want to be a pastor? All right, well, read the Bible or read whatever religious text it is that you want to get better at. So, a cult is needed to promote, so maybe it could work as a pastor. A cult following. I mean, yeah, but you got to think about what cults have existed and just never, like, faded away. Well, religion is pretty strong, but aside from religion, there's also human nature, right? I mean, I don't know if you really want to become the kind of person that completely gets rid of all their human nature and be one of those people, but there's always going to be, I guess, a theoretical evil in the world or whatever, and a theoretical good. It depends on what's considered to be the theoretical evil or the theoretical good. So, what used to be considered good by the majority of the population, which was, I guess, white America, whenever that happened, And like I said, I don't have anything against white people. I don't mean to say that to make it sound offensive, but America was, at a certain point, at some point, right, where the government was trusted, media was trusted, news was trusted, everything was trusted. And now, guess who is the most mistrusted, the most segregated, the most closed off? Well, if you reject us in all of your neighborhoods, and you reject us in all of your groups and your gatherings and your golf clubs and your, well, no shit. You know what I'm saying? The more you push and oppress the people, the stronger they come back. It's just human nature. They just try to survive until you literally try to exterminate them. And somebody could be trying to exterminate them. I don't know. Maybe they're just like roaches. They're the scourge that will never leave you. Right? There's no point in trying. But shit, you might be surprised at what you can get out of people when you help them and you put positivity out there. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot to be learned from people. So speak that into your life and it will become true. Speak what you want into existence. I really do think that there is power in words. And like if you want positivity in your life, you got to speak positivity out in your life. You got to continue to be optimistic. And because I got pushed to my sort of tipping point, I to some degree I went from optimistic to pessimistic, but I kind of had to stop and be a little bit skeptical and be like, okay, well, I don't want to be too pessimistic or too optimistic. Am I balanced? And like, you don't have to think about it. Follow the Bible. You don't have to be a perfect person either. Follow the Bible. But know it just enough that you kind of don't sacrifice your morality. And it's just kind of like, okay, live by these basic rules. The 10 Commandments. You don't want to read the Bible? Cool. Live by the 10 Commandments and you'll be fine. You know what I'm saying? You don't got to be a perfect person. Just be willing to improve and then live by the 10 Commandments. That's it. And then you can go to church for the community. You don't got to stay for the hooping and the hollering or whatever you want to call it. But like, have a rock. Have a community that you can say they are right. But just know that the stereotypes that come with that, you will become that as well. Let's say, for example, whatever stereotypes follow, let's say black people, for example. I'm a black person. I can speak on this, I think, to some degree. If I can't, somebody let me know. I mean, I've gotten rid on my shirt where I'm from. You know what I'm saying? But then again, I wasn't always really accepted where I was from, right? They never really considered me to be what you would call, I guess, the norm there. But if you go there now, I guarantee you the world has changed. And it's like, I don't know if the positivity and the influence and impact has always been there, or if like I just speak these things into existence and I'm just realizing them because that's what I lived throughout my life, so I'm able to recognize it when it happens. So that's why you don't want to recognize too many of the evils and the bads in the world, because then you stress yourself and then you become the person that resolves all the world's issues. Is there a reward for it? Yes, there is a reward for it. It becomes to you naturally. It becomes to you naturally to just solve people's problems. Don't stress. That's just you living life, dog. If it feels bad, then it probably is bad. If you're stressing, then don't stress. If you don't want it to be stressful, it won't be stressful. Just stay positive. That's what we need right now. That's what I'm saying. You just pump positivity out there. It's just that positivity means something different to different people at different points in their life, right? My dad said that I could be a really good motivational speaker. I spoke to him today. And the older I get, the better I get at understanding people. And the better you get at understanding people, the better you can talk to people, the better you can convince them to be positive. So while things are crushing you, kind of pushing you to your edge and to your limits, well, you decide how many people you want to save. You decide who you want to save. Don't save everybody. That's a big cross to bear. We know what happened to Jesus Christ. He died for everybody's sins. I'm not trying to die for everybody's sins. I don't think anybody's trying to do that. So you pick who you're trying to save and what you're willing to sacrifice to save that. You know what I'm saying? So for me, if it's just my family, okay, well, a door opened up. I had the opportunity to bring my whole family if I wanted to. But it was not necessarily what was best for them. So you talk to them. You say, okay, how do I figure that out? Well, are you willing to sacrifice what you're doing to go and be a part of what they're doing? Are you even sacrificing all that? Probably not. So I don't know. It's really a whole series of, kind of balancing things out. There's a lot that I can do here in terms of equity or whatever and making money or whatever. But the reason why it's lonely at the top is because a lot of the stuff you have to sacrifice to sort of be at the top. It's not worth it sometimes. You know what I'm saying? It's not worth it, especially when you have to sacrifice family or connections. If you ever get to the point where you're like, oh shit, I pushed my family to the tipping point and I broke them. Not worth it. Absolutely not worth it. Always want to stay connected with them. I want to have a positive connection with them. But you got to determine what's important to you in your life, what you want to stay stable in your life. Blood, sweat, and tears. That's a fact. You put your blood, sweat, and tears into all and everything that you do. You know what I'm saying? If you work hard, you grind hard, you get good results. And like sometimes the grind ain't worth it, but you just also got to know what the risks are. Because you never want to come to a point. Don't live in fear. I'm going to say this before I continue that sentence. Don't live in fear. But you also want to know the potential future you can be building for yourself if you're not in a positive direction. I'm already in a very good spot in life. I could literally stay here and work on other things. I don't got to work on making money. I don't got to work on whatever. It's like, yeah, it's exactly like working out. I stay in the gym, I continue to work out, but how can I make my workout sort of more effective? Well, I found out how to do a 5-day split instead of a 6-day split. Don't gotta sacrifice my Saturdays anymore. I can sleep in. My Saturdays are all free. Um, but by giving myself a business opportunity with live streaming, now I'm sacrificing time. Or let's say, for example, I'm ready to do some house hacking and I get into that. Well, now I've got to sacrifice. If the house needs some repairs or rebuilding, I've got to sacrifice equity and time. Will the investment be worth it in the long run? Probably. But will I enjoy doing it? No. It's going to take away from all the other things that I'm already good at. I'm good at talking. I can just keep being good at talking. Then there's a lot of bad that can come from it too, right? Anything good that you do, also know there's also a negative pole to it too. Yeah, do better than yesterday. If you don't want to be easily manipulated either in life, well, you can't be a super agreeable person. You got to be both agreeable and affirmative, right? If you just want the average life and stay constant, sort of just kind of move throughout the waves, yeah, basically be a conservative and then have backup plans, have a mitigation strategy in case anything happens. It's kind of all that is. Let me take a bathroom break. I'm gonna play a quick 1-minute ad through Twitch. YouTube and Facebook won't be seeing this ad, but I'm gonna play a Twitch ad for a minute. I'll be right back, Spar. Now, let me just check who's in chat first. Users in chat. Ooh. Oh, we got Dizzy in here. Okay. I'm talking and no one can hear me because I'm on mute. Sorry. Um. Well, now that depends on who you are. For me personally, it really depends. Uh, I would really go by me for my situation. It depends on what my financial goals are at the time. If you're making money just for the sake of making money, you'll just continue making money and never stop. But you also understand the king's disease. The king's disease is that you don't know when to stop. And uh, you don't want to fall into that sort of echo chamber of, man, I don't want to lose a stock. Yeah, you'll become a great stock market investor. It will not be worth the risk. You need to be a well balanced person. You can be decent at a bunch of things. You don't have to be an expert at everything. Pick one thing that you're really good at. Just be good at it. Just be good at the one thing that you're really good at and continue with that. You don't have to be a genius. Just continue to put good into yourself. Sorry, I keep going back to that, but that's kind of like the tip of the pyramid. Just be good. Just be good. What amount of profit do you think is a good time to sell? Well, I already use a specific example in my own life. Let's say, for example, I invested $1,000. Or I'll use a real example from when I was in college. I invested maybe about $4,000, $3,000, about somewhere between $3,000 or $4,000 at the time, and I made about a $1,200 profit. That's what I made. Yeah, and for me that was good enough. For me that was good enough. And honestly, the reason why I sold wasn't even because of market ups and downs or because of reaching a goal. It's just time for me to move. It was time for me to move, and that was $1,200 off of my little Starbucks salary, and that didn't even include what I was making from 401k investments. At the time I was making maybe 14 something an hour, 14.25 an hour, before they moved minimum wage to 15, I think. It's crazy to think that's like over 4 years ago. This is back in, is it 4 years? I started about 4 years ago, a little over 4 years ago. But I actually stopped working at Starbucks in 2019, so it's not that far away. It feels a long time ago though. Honestly, invest in the things that you like. Be a trendsetter, dog. You put shockwaves out there when you just do good. You just put good shit out there when you're. I don't know. Maybe it's just how I was raised. I don't know what the fuck it was, man. But anyway, another thing you might be interested in investing in. A lot of people are getting into NFTs, right? They're investing in things that. This is what I'll tell you. Don't invest in anything you don't understand. Because like I said, consistency is important. Things might explode and boom right now. And yeah, being on the tip of a trend is great. That's what speculative analysis is. Oh yeah. You can invest in anime companies. Yeah, NFT is very risky, but that's because it's new. High risk, high reward. A lot of new things, you don't know if they're going to last. Not everything lasts forever. You know what I'm saying? Not everything is there forever. People might find that their use for certain social medias is changing. Like, you don't need it for this, you don't need it for that. They might have a shrinking market now because of things that have happened. So, really depends on who you are. You decide what you want, essentially. It's all up to you. You gotta set a goal for yourself as a point. The further up you go, the more, I guess, corrupt you see how things are. You find out that you have a puppet master, and your puppet master has a puppet master, and that puppet master has a puppet master. It just sends shockwaves down. As long as you have good people in your corner. Follow good. You follow good, you'll be fine. You don't have to follow any trends, just follow good. People like good. I mean, people right now might not like good. You invest the good in that good, and more good will come. Yeah, no doubt. And if you have any particular questions, okay, so let's do a little recap. Let's do a little recap. Where do you want to invest money? If I was in your shoes, where would I want to invest money? Well, I'm looking at public.com. I'm looking at Fidelity Investments. I'm looking at Robinhood. Although, like I said, Robinhood's a little shady. I prefer public instead. And I'm also still doing Fidelity for retirement accounts. The biggest investment you can make in yourself is in yourself. I know that sounds kind of redundant, but you don't want to so much invest in the stock market. Everything's all volatile, everything's shaky, everything's this, everything is that. You don't know what's going to happen. So, what's the one thing that's unchanging, right? Okay, well, how much you know, right? Whatever your knowledge bank is. So, how do you grow your knowledge bank? You can read books, you can find online articles, and be careful about what online articles you find, right? You don't want to find just any online article. Go use different search engines. Search different things essentially, and you can find different stuff, right? Different information. But books are better because they don't change. Yes, they are written by people, but you can find scholarly reviewed journals. You can find things from the professionals. Don't trust everybody that creates something. Everybody's a content creator these days. Everybody's a cult leader. Everybody's a whatever. Just find reputable information. That's what I urge you to do. Find reputable information. Make sure the person who's speaking on the subject has an actual background in it. Even in terms of personal finance, investing, business, and innovation. Do I have a business? Not really, not officially. I mean, I'm starting this Twitch stuff, and I have somebody who's helping me with the live streaming and putting it together, which is awesome. Finance, yeah, I've started in finance. Investing, yeah, I've started in investing. Do the sites you recommend ask for bank number or social security number? Most of them do, yes. I'm actually curious to know your concern about that, because I do know a lot of people are very concerned about having their information hacked. So it might be a good time to work on a lot of that information and make sure you're not getting hacked or whatever. Bank number or social security number. Yeah, Robinhood can kind of be fishy with that. Yeah, social security number, giving them to too many apps, especially apps that could potentially be linked to outside of the US. It's kind of scary. Because you don't know who has your information, especially when you're typing on keyboards, on your phone, and the company's not US based, or the hardware you're using is not US based, using Chinese phone, using this, using that. Because I mean, they found out that the Xiaomi, the phones, their hardware, yeah, they're collecting data from us. Whether or not they're using that against us is another question, but somebody might be using it against us. It could be a small group of people who's manipulating the world, manipulating things. Which no idea. Why stress about it? Everyone's trying to manipulate somebody. And the only thing you can do is depend on the greater good to sort of resolve that issue. Now you got to be responsible to some degree for yourself, because you don't. They're not going to win all the time. Good people aren't going to win all the time. But you have to be somewhat responsible enough for yourself, and like I said, have a moral compass to sort of avoid getting caught in any of those sort of things. But I don't know. Like I said, don't stress too much. But yeah, you can look at public.com. That's an option. Just know that like every time you put money into something, it posts like publicly so people can see it. Well, that kind of sounds like that new Jabe song that's on Samurai Champloo. Just the guitar. Dun, dun, dun. I like that. Hey. It's about I want to learn how to play music on my piano. But yeah, you got options, dog. You got options. Let me actually show you the books. Hold up, I have them. I have physical books. I left them in the living room. The consumer in you is always going to want to buy stuff. Just don't get too scared and don't get too, you know. To keep the world running, we kind of just have to keep buying stuff, so. They're kind of building our economy and our world to sort of be able to offer everything that people want, right? They want to have the fancy cars, live the fancy lifestyles, go on vacations everywhere and anywhere. So how do they do that? Well, they're literally just building the world around us to do that and then sell it to us. You just got to decide when you've had enough and you said, you know what, I had a good enough life, I'm comfortable here, I'm just gonna chill out. We've really got to get out of the game. No worries, you don't have to force yourself to think of questions. So this is the Investing 8-in-1. This is an 8-in-1 book. And so this is Investing for Dummies. The reason why I recommend the For Dummies one doesn't mean you're actually stupid. It's just an easier way to explain things so you can understand it. And I haven't even read all of it, truth be told. But they give some really good information in here. So you can look at the book at a glance. We have a book 1, book 2, all that stuff. And in book 2, they actually tell you investing in your 20s and 30s. There's a little section on that. It's only about, let's see, page 51 to 85. It's about 34 pages. There's 34 pages right there. It's like super easy. Using investments to accomplish your goals. Minimizing your taxes when investing. Yeah. Like all those complaints that people make about taxes, tax this, tax that. Dog. You don't want to get taxed as much? Easy. Tax breaks. There are tax cuts everywhere. There's tax cuts in everything. Dog. There's so many ways to avoid taxes. So, as far as I'm concerned, it's good. It's good stuff. Okay, and there's also Personal Finance for Dummies. This one is the one that you want to start with, and the reason why is because you want to get your personal finances in order first. What they're going to tell you about is they're going to tell you about what good debt is, what bad debt is, right? And they're also going to tell you about what else is there? You've got good debt versus bad debt, and you've also got what was I going to say? What the heck was I going to say? Good debt versus bad debt. Good debt versus bad debt. How does investment affect taxes? Yes, so there's actually specific taxes you pay on the capital gains you make for your investments. So there's that as well. I think that's always kind of been around. I think they're making some changes though. The gains you make from capital investments. Sorry, the taxes paid on capital gains from your investments. There's also tax write-offs though for your investments. There's tax write-offs for retirement accounts. A lot of those things are phasing out though, but I think they're going to develop new like tax write-off systems to sort of kind of keep rich people rich and poor people poor. It's probably what they're fixing to do right now. Whatever, I don't care. Just as long as I'm happy. Build the happy life. That's it. Happy life. Happy life, happy wife. What else is there? Yeah, I don't know. That's all I can think of. It's about 7:16. We got about 44 minutes left. It's not too bad. Not too bad at all. Not too shabby. No, not too shabby at all. Yeah, I don't know. does investment affect taxes? But yeah, the Personal Finance for Dummies book, though, the reason why it's a good start, right off the back of it, it says reduce your spending, improve your credit score, make wise investments, understand technology and cryptocurrencies, make sense of global investing, get the right insurance at the best prices. Boom. That's like, you know what I'm saying? That's like perfect. That's like whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Low key? Oh, I've got a fucking idea, dog. I've got a fucking idea. Oh man. Oh man. I had a brain blast. I did. Let me chill though. Let me chill. It might not even work. It might not even be a great idea, but I think there's an opportunity market, and I just found it. I don't want to talk about it on stream though, because this is gonna get posted everywhere. I don't want somebody racing to my idea first. Because information is so free and shared, that's why it's so easy for businesses to just pop up everywhere. But what happens is now everybody wants to charge a subscription. Everybody wants to do this. Everybody wants to do that. A lot of those businesses are going to fail because people are going to be like, I have too many subscriptions. I don't want to pay for your subscription. Why pay for your subscription when I can pay for one subscription from this place and they give me everything I need? Oh. I can pay for a subscription to my company. They can pay me less and I'll give them this. They'll give me housing. They'll give me videos. They'll give me... Boom, you become a slave to the company. Boom, that's it. They give me training. They give me this. They give me that. They give me housing. They provide that for me. They provide this for me. They provide other incentives. They provide this. It is a smart move. It's a little selfish. I won't lie to you, but you gotta be a little selfish because if you share everything with everybody, now everybody run off with your ideas. You just gotta know the right people to talk to. You know what I'm saying? So, the same thing with streaming. I mean, ideas just kind of pop out of my head. Like, they don't all have to mean anything, but they might mean something to someone. You know what I'm saying? But they might not even be well equipped to even run away with that idea. Is the issue. I might say it for a reason and not give enough detail around it. I might not even have enough time to dedicate to you to even continue to help you build out the idea. So there's that too, right? Just because I came up with a great idea doesn't mean that I have the time to help you fulfill it. I might have missed a very key detail, you know what I'm saying, and explaining something to you. So don't be too unsure either, but that's why I just urge you, do your own research. That's what a lot of people don't do these days. They don't read to their own benefit. The more you do that, the faster you figure shit out. And yeah, it's just a process. It's a process. All right, pre-roll ads are done. Let's go take a look at what's happening on my phone because I'm getting messages from people. Toast to when we become rich. Yes, toast, my brother. Toast. You know what? Since I don't have much to talk about anymore, you want to just hang around for some Overwatch? Because like I'm really not doing anything. There's no point in me sitting here and talking if I don't have anything left to talk about. You know what I'm saying? So Let's move this over here. Ah, shit. Not what I meant to do. That's what I meant to do. And put that there. And open up Overwatch. And we can change the stream info. Change that to doing some Overwatch now. Changing to Overwatch. We're gonna say video games. Oh, no, Overwatch. Overwatch. Finance, English, FPS, shooter, strategy, action, tags. I would throw anime in there. I'm gonna throw anime in there. We just talk about anime and shit. Oh, I actually gotta be anime then. Where is it? Where's Streamlabs? How come I can't see it on TeamViewer anymore? Why am I not seeing it? Sorry, believe there. When is the next watch party and what you watching? So what I do now for my anime watch parties, I host them in Discord. I don't actually host them in I don't host them well, there's a new way of hosting that's actually legal that I found out about and it's really fucking cool. So like if you guys can like join me for that, that'd be fucking awesome. But yes, I'm probably gonna set up a schedule again if you'd like to come. Right now, me and my friend kind of just do anime watching impromptu on Discord. So before this becomes a legal issue, you can go ahead and jump in on Discord with me, and that should be fine. But yeah, go ahead and jump in on Discord. There should be a link down there for it, and then I'm gonna work on the watch party stuff. Billy, I don't know if you have. Let me see if I can actually hold up. Sorry, I'm not gone yet. Sorry, I'm not gone yet.
Also, I'm going to show you how to set up an NVI source from your game to my computer. Alright, sounds good. Alright, sounds good. just hit end stream.